Hi, my name is Bea Nichols, and I'm the Director of Operations here at the Children's Services Division. And I want to welcome everyone to this 45-day requirements webinar. Now, what you need to know is there is no need for you to write anything down. My team is taking care of that. They will be providing to you the PowerPoint presentation and the link so that you can go in and view this at any time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the webinar. And now I'll turn it over to Martise.
Thank you, Bea. So here's our overview for today. So we'll go over the 45-day priorities for health, education, and disabilities, family and community engagement, program management. We'll also look at Chicago Early Learning Program options, the requirements. And then, of course, if you have any questions, you can always email a member of your team. So we are still in the midst of COVID. It has not gone anywhere, unfortunately. However, Head Start programs, we are running at full capacity with comprehensive services. We are acknowledging that everyone has returned back to the classroom in different capacities. So please log into the Office of Head Start, review some of the standards that have been updated recently, even as of August 7th. So please check that out. Health services. So here's your update for your 45 days. So all children birth to 5 years must have a completed and up-to-date physical exam prior to attendance. And be sure that your families are completing the State of Illinois Health and Physical Exam form. Usually your doctor offices have these forms available. You should at least have a medical home and dental home within 30 days. This is for Head Start and Early Head Start. We are following the Illinois licensing standards for all of our PFA and PI programs as well. We're looking to obtain home visiting children within 90 days of enrollment, and these are for the physicals. Of course, dental exams should be completed within 45 days of attendance for the home visit. We should also be conducting research-based developmental screenings also within those 45 days. And I know our programs are completing the ages and stages for our families and the ESIR and the ASQ2. So we are going to continue to monitor and follow up any missing medical, immunizations, and dental information. For our programs that are using COPA, be sure that the health status for the beginning of the program year is recorded in the health history form in COPA, as seen in the photo below. Immunization shot records should be recorded in COPA up under the immunization and TB page. So if a child is up to date for immunization, please mark that the child is in compliance. So toothbrushing, I know some of you are still have questions about whether toothbrushing is going to be allowed due to everyone being returned back to the classroom. But this can be done at the center's discretion. We are encouraging toothbrushing just to keep up with healthy practices. So please also visit Head Start Performance Standards on the new toothbrushing techniques for your seventh. Nutrition services. Each site is required and encouraged to complete the nutrition assessment for Head Start and Early Head Start. Create a special care plan if needed. The growth assessments and the USDA contracts. You should also be planning and posting menus. And please don't forget the classroom food experiences. Kids enjoy that. I know it's still COVID, but find a way to have some type of fun food experiences in your classroom. Family meal times. I know this is something that's missed from a lot of our centers. Kids have just been given the individual meals, but you can continue the family meal styles as long as it is safe. Everyone has their mask on, of course, not when eating. Again, you could also visit the Head Start Performance Standards for the updates for family meal sharing. Mental health and well-being. We would like for all agencies to create an environment of positive attitudes and behaviors throughout your program. We would also like for you to develop contracts with qualified mental health providers and submit those completed contracts to DFSS. And this is specifically for Head Start and Early Head Start. Your mental health consultants must be licensed or certified mental health professionals and have knowledge of and experience in serving young children and their families. You should also allocate sufficient resources to the mental health services in order to provide for the services outlined in the sales manual. Mental health services will include individual, child, and classroom observations, planning with parents about mental health education programs, crisis intervention, and referrals, preparing both behavioral plans for individual children and classroom management plans. And as you know, we are utilizing the continuity of relationships model. So this should be implemented in all birth to 3 classrooms in order to sustain teacher-child well-being. Health and safety practices, licensable facilities used for Chicago early learning programming must have current DFSS and City of Chicago licenses, including socialization spaces. Licensed exhibit facilities used for Chicago early learning programs must have a current DCFS exemption letter. You should be conducting health and safety checks on your facilities, indoor and outdoor spaces, to ensure staff are engaged in active supervision. Implement a system for ongoing preventative maintenance, and of course, report issues immediately to your assigned monitoring team at DFSS. Report incidents affecting the health and safety of program participants immediately to your assigned monitoring team lead at DFSS. Shown on the screen is a copy of the current DFSS incident report. It did change, and everyone did receive a copy of this. However, if you don't have one, we could always email you one. Active supervision resources. Just keep in mind that active supervision allows staff to position themselves so that they can observe children. This is watching, counting, and listening at all times. During transitions, staff account for all children with name-to-face recognition, visually identifying each child. And a PDF of this resource is available at the end of the presentation. So, for family and community engagement. So, of course, due to COVID, the Office of Head Start has provided guidelines regarding how FCE should be implemented during the program year. So education services staff and parents should continue to communicate regularly about a child's learning development, routines, activities, behavior, and progress. And you should also continue parent-teacher conferences as well. Programs must continue to ensure staff are able to communicate effectively with children who are dual language learners, either directly or through interpretation and translation, to the best extent possible, with families with limited English proficiency. Family engagement events are encouraged, although many programs offer events for families to interact with each other. Family support specialists and workers must be hired. Family partnership agreement process, all programs options must offer parents opportunities to engage in family goal setting, taking into consideration the family's willingness to engage in this process. You should also offer the family the opportunity to engage in the process of goal setting. You make appropriate referrals and maintain contact with families on their caseload every 30 days. You should also implement parent orientation and share the handbook with your families. We would also like the agencies to create community partnership agreements with local organizations. And as you know, Parents as Teachers is the approved research-based curricular for DFSS. So to begin documenting the family goal setting, go to the family data sheet and enter desired service. So below you have different options: adult education, disabilities, mental health services, housing assistance, and parent education, to name a few. Then you can proceed to the Family Goals tab and select the Edit Pencil to add a new goal based on, of course, a conversation with the family member. So in order for you to add a referral or service to the new referral link from the goals page, so once you select your goal, you can this will allow you to track your goals and referrals using the 1009 Family Goals Report shown below in both photos. And now we have the overview for hearing and vision from Ms. Angela Heath.
Hello. I will be doing the overview for preschool vision and hearing screenings for teachers and parents. The process starts off this way. The technician will reach out to the agencies to schedule a hearing and vision date. What is required is that we have a consent for hearing and vision to always be on file, a helper to assist the technician during the screening process, an appropriate location for screenings to be conducted. In the screening packet, there's the orientation packet. It includes a cover letter with the screening date, which you just reviewed before, a class list that requires the child's name, age, and birthday, a practice game to implement in the classroom setting, and allowing the children to be familiar with the game. There's also the hearing and vision screening record folder and the hearing and vision screening notification to be posted. The Chicago Early Learning Recording screening results are recorded on a form that looks similar to this one, and the outcomes of the screenings are as follows: pass, unable, fail, absent, or referred. In the event that a child is referred, you will receive a cover letter that looks like this, that basically indicates that the child has been referred from one or the other or both. The cover letter is also attached to the vision and hearing referral, which is the next slide. The vision referral form looks like this. It is Illinois Department of Public Health Vision Examination Report form. It is issued to the parents. Parents is provided with a vision resource list. Results entered into our database COPA. Referral outcomes are returned back to the site and the technician for tracking and follow-up purposes. Same as the vision referral, it's issued to parents. It is provided with a hearing resource list. Results are entered into our database COPA. Referral outcomes are returned back to the site and the technician for tracking purposes. The results of those screenings are implemented into our medical record page in COPA. I will now turn it over to Janice Taylor.
Hello, so now I'll be doing the overview for developmental screening. Programs must administer or obtain a current developmental and social emotional screening within the first 45 days of a child's enrollment at a home visiting program. This will allow the programs to screen for any developmental delays or concerns. Screenings for returning children can be conducted beginning July 1st of every year and will be counted as meeting the first 45-day requirement. Children with the current certified IEP or IFSP are not required to be screened. However, it is recommended. If it is suspected additional services may be needed, then screen the child. Parents or guardians must be given written consent in order to conduct the screening. Parents or guardians must be provided information regarding the purpose of the screening results, and how the screening results will be used. The following research-based developmental screening tools must be used. You can refer to the SAIL 2.0 manual, page 89 through 91. Birth to 3, Ages and Stages Questionnaire, 3rd edition, and Ages and Stages Questionnaire, Social Emotional, 2nd edition. For 3 to 5-year-olds, Early Screening, Revised, and Ages and Stages Questionnaire, Social Emotional, 2nd edition. Developmental screening. All delegate agencies have policies and procedures established regarding the screening process. These policies and procedures must be updated to include how required health and safety practices will be followed for children and staff who return to the classroom. The guidance that I'm about to share now, it only applies for closures due to positive cases. Just a friendly reminder, we are required to provide in-person learning, my apologies. How the screening process will be conducted virtually for e-learners, education, and disability coordinators have received guidance on conducting virtual developmental screenings and should use the guidance to develop guidance specific for their program. In addition, it is highly recommended to review the information, guidance, tips, and resources provided by the developer of the screening tool when working with parents virtually during COVID. Developmental screenings. They must be recorded in COPA. Please complete both a developmental and a social-emotional screening. It is not necessary to add a sensory screening. Here, please see the picture above. The hearing and vision screening should appear at the bottom of this page when completed. Please note that COPA wants to sort screenings by PRI program model, but DFSS tracks this by age group. All 3 to 5 year olds should have a screening entered under Head Start, and all birth to 3 children should have a screening entered under EHS. And you can see the display of the screen to the left. We also want to track our developmental screening status utilizing the COPA 456 report. Open the Memorized Reports menu and select one of the memorized reports for the current year, as you can see pictured. The reports labeled Head Start and Early Head Start include only children enrolled with the funding sources. The reports labeled Birth to 3 and 3 to 5 include all children within those age ranges. Please note that these reports default to showing children with no matching data. In other words, children whose screenings are missing. If you would like to see children whose screenings are complete, please go to Additional Filtering and select Children with Matching Data. Thank you, and now I'll be passing it on to Nicole Randolph.
Hello, everyone. Today I will be going over the milestones for program governance for Q1, implement activities for establishing the program's year newly elected and re-elected policy committee, support parents in convening their monthly parent and policy committee meetings, and maintain record-keeping system for securing meetings materials, conduct parent orientation sessions at site and partner sites, inclusive of educating parents on policy committee service and parent committee involvement and expectations. Conduct parent committee elections for site officers and policy committee members for the program year. Policy committees should be established and seated within the first quarter of the program year. The CPPC letter of certification is due to DFSS on October 1st, 2021 to ensure and support that DFSS Policy Council is established and seated for their service year, applicable to Head Start programs. Refer to Sales 2.0, Collaborative Governance for Policy Committee and Board Expectations. Also, you can see the website at the bottom for Children's Services. Make sure that you also look at that website for further information. Next, I will be talking about the milestones for program management for the 45th day, Q1. Conduct quality assurance, internal monitoring, assessment to ensure that all staff have current physicals and that the updates are recorded in staff's COPA HR file. All new and existing staff have received, reviewed, and signed the standards of conduct acknowledgement forms, provide a copy to your staff as well. All staff have criminal record clearance dates recorded in COPA HR files and uploaded respective documents to COPA eDocs files. All staff, as applicable, has a current first aid CPR certification and are up to date on completing the mandated reporter training. Orientation has been provided to new staff within the first 90 days of hire, which includes review of standards of conduct and a signed acknowledgement form. Conduct pedestrian safety training for parents and children within the first 30 days of the program year. Conduct bus monitoring training for staff and accompany children on field trips involving bus transportation. Also, you can find this information in Sales 2.0, Section 13 under Transportation. Now I'll turn it back to Marty.
Thank you, everyone. So as we conclude, we do want you to keep in mind that it's important that all Chicago Early Learning programs have an effective system to monitor health and family services. Today, we focused on priorities that must take place within the first 45 days of operation. DFSS, CSD will be offering additional information in these respective content areas, so look for upcoming training dates and topics via the CSD electronic updates. And if you're not receiving those, please reach out to a member of your team so that we can make sure you're added to the listserv. Thank you.